Hi, Tracy here, and I have a scrapbook in process called You Are My Sunshine. And I used the December Scraptastic kit, Hard at Races. And this background paper came in the kit, and then I'm using that Heidi Swap screen there, mask. I think it's a Heidi Swap. And then I'm using different Mr. Huey's misters. I do not remember the exact colors, but I'm using sort of a orangey red, a bright red. The first one was a bright red. No, the first one was an orangey red. The second one was a bright red, or the second reddish color, and then I have a yellow there too, because those are the colors of the papers I'm going to be using, and the whole layout is in those kind of peaches and yellows together. And there's an even brighter yellow. One of those was Taxi, I believe. And then that paper right there was kind of my jumping point, and then the fact that this picture had the sunlight coming behind us there inspired this layout. And I cut it down because I knew I wanted to mat it, and I was trying to use some of the other cardstock in the kit, but I wasn't liking. There was a yellow, a peach, and a green, and so I could use either the green or the yellow behind this, but I didn't like either of them. And now I'm adding lines with my metallic paint, watercolor paints that I got long ago from Aaron Brothers, and I'm using gold and then like a peachy metallic color, and it's subtle. The lines are subtle, but then yet not subtle. They definitely made a very big difference in the background to me. And then here's my papers. I cut out the footage of me cutting them because this is already such a long video. This layout took me over 2 hours. It was very detailed and lots of layering, and I really took my time with it and enjoyed myself. So, and now I'm painting around the edges of all of the layers with the metallic paint. I'm using the gold, and I'm making a pretty thick line so that it really shows. I really wanted it to make a point with it. I didn't want that so subtle. And the papers here, sorry about that, I forgot to tell you. That pink one I'm doing right now is Chickanity Crafts, and it's the scrumptious line called Autumn Haze. And then that one, that's sort of the sun rays, is, sorry for the paper shuffling, that's also Chickanity Crafts Scrumptious Nutmeg. And then the leaf one that I was actually going to mat the picture with, but then ended up doing it more like that, is Teresa Collins 9 & Company, and it's called Flowers. And the orange one with writing is a Chamel paper by American Crafts, and it's called Earheart. And these are all from the Heartbeats kit. So then I went into my layering box to find layering materials, and I found a couple of different glassine bags. And so I had that one that's in green, and then I have a white one, and then I found some old gold what do you call them, that I'm not going to actually end up using, doilies. And then I had this old bag that was from a Project Life kit from Studio Calico that I got. I was part of that only for maybe a couple of months, maybe 3 months, and then I quit getting that because I don't do Project Life enough. So, but that bag is like a linen, and I like that it's, been sewn and like kind of folding over, and so I like that look. And then that jump started me into adding more fabric to this layout. And I'm using that vellum. It's kind of like a pearly vellum that I crinkled it up, but I end up taking it off because it just doesn't go. I want this picture was taken, we went to the beach and then went out for lunch at a fish place, and so I wanted this to have more of a beachy feel, and that shiny paper just wasn't doing it for me. And there's my material. I went into my fabric store that I have, and then pulled out that it's like a linen, it's black and white stripe, but it's almost a blue and white. And now I'm just cutting out circles from it because I'm going to just quickly make a flower. And then I'm going to also add a strip to the top right so that I have that fabric in 3 spots. So then I'm going to take that and punch a hole through the center of all of those. And I just kind of keep punching and working and punching and working, and then I come with the scissors too and make the hole big enough so that I can get that twine through. That's like a real thick hemp twine, which also goes with this layout, I think. And that's a little container that has all my vintage buttons in it, and I couldn't find a vintage one to work. So then I go into my regular stash of new buttons. And I'm looking for, again, kind of beachy look. So then I tie a bow on that with that thread, which I later regret because I can't really get it to lay exactly how I want. I wish I would have just sort of shredded up that hemp and made more of a rough look to that, but that's right. The frame that I use there in my layering, that's also from my stash. And I cannot recall. Oh, and then I went off camera and did some sewing too. I sewed the fabric down around the 2 layers of fabric on my layering, and then up at the top right corner I sewed that down as well. That gold looking material stuff, I got that a long time ago. That, I think, at a Tuesday morning. That's Jolie. I think, yeah, I got it at Tuesday morning. Or maybe it was Marshall's. So there's the glassine bags. Lots of layers on this layout. And then I'm even popping up a lot of the layers, so it ends up being quite a thick layout. I'll be able to get it into the clear covers, but it is quite thick. I have this sticker. I got these packages of stickers at Tuesday morning. It was like 5 sticker sheets all together, but it had this one sticker in it that says this day should be played on repeat, and I just loved it. It's perfect sentiment for this day because it really was. It was only two of my kids came with us, Todd and we went to the beach, so the two of them boogie boarded um and we live about an hour from the beach, so we drove there. They played at the beach for maybe an hour and a half, and then we went out to lunch and had this fabulous lunch, and then went back home, and that was our day, and it was absolutely wonderful. And my husband and I realized we need to do that more often because we live so close to the beach. So it's a really, really fond memory for me, that one simple, just a few hours. I have I have some more pictures as well, but this one in particular I wanted to be all alone because I really like that, with the sun coming behind us and us snuggling together. And she's all worn out from playing at the beach. Doesn't take much. Those waves will wear you out. So now I'm just gluing these buttons down instead of sewing them because I was, at this point, already had spent so much time on this layout. I was getting lazy. And now I'm going to work on my title, which I knew from the get-go I wanted the title to be "You Are My Sunshine." Looking through my thickers for the perfect ones. I was originally going to do the title up going across the top, but because I have so many layers, and then the stickers I end up going with are actually not thickers. They're those Luxe thick stickers, and those are thin, and so they just couldn't handle the different layers. They would have looked all lumpy and terrible. So that's when I realized, oh, I could go along the side of the layout, which you will see in just a moment. I obviously did a lot of thinking about that. And then I realized, oh, if I move some stuff around a little bit, that will be perfect. And I do love the title. I love the way it turned out, and I love those letters for it. It was a little struggle lining that all up because that fabric is not cut perfectly straight, and so it messes with your eye as you're putting it down. You know, I wanted to follow the line of the fabric, but that doesn't work because that's crooked. So there's where I realized I am going to use white. And then as I went to go get the white, it was right next to this cream color, and I went, oh, maybe the cream would be better. So I brought both and looked at both, and for sure the cream was the way to go. So that's a sticker sheet from the little word love. And then this came from an old Freckled Fawn kit. But that's a Teresa Collins 9 & Company sticker sheet that came in the kit. This green sticker here did not come in the kit. That's from my stash, but I really like the shape of it, and I liked it also because it was similar to the shape of the sticker behind the sentiment up at the top right cluster. And that sort of sun or star shaped sticker, that also came from the Teresa Collins sticker sheet. And now I'm just putting some enamel dots around, and those are all from my stash. I have tons, as you can see. And then the last thing I think I'm going to do here is sprinkle some ink. Oh yes, because I did sew that down, by the way. I sewed down the layout to the mat. And then there's the ink. And I believe that was it. So there you have it. There is my layout, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please click like. And I will see you next time. I believe my next post will be another art card. So I'm trying to get more consistent with that in days that I do art cards and days that I do layouts, but mostly layouts, of course. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.